Hey guys, today we're going to be discussing the Vanguard. That's our very old one, or the Buff Guard is what you're going to call it. Let's look at the modules here. So we aiming systems here, very valuable choice, probably better choice. Aiming battery, you really wouldn't bother. AA guns, you could spec into it because it is a focused battleship, because it's a very modern one, so you definitely worth it. Steering gears mod is the best thing, because the biggest thing about the Vanguard and why it never needs a buff, it just needs a simple rudder shift or turning circle upgrade. The whole thing about the Vanguard is you've got those 4 guns that you just have to give pretty much enough broadside to get you sunk by firing all 4 guns. So all you need to do is have a better turning. If you really want to buff the Vanguard, buff its radius, buff its turning speed, turning rudder shift time, and turning circle radius. All you need to do, fix that, job done. If you really want to buff the Vanguard, do that. Simple. You don't need this main battery reload booster, rubbish, don't bother. Heal, it's great, it's always had to heal. Give it a rudder shift. Doesn't need a buff to its AP damage, doesn't need HE buff, just give it the rudder shift. Okay? I think I've beaten that point down. Again, you don't even need concealment mod, just give it the rudder shift. Anyway, simple as that. But concealment mod is what you pick, because it's the best option. And then, yeah, as I said, just honestly fix rudder shift in Vanguard. That's all I'm asking Wargaming. If you're ever listening, you're watching this video, instead of giving it another pointless buff, fix its rudder shift. Job done. Alright, main battery mods, again, you could use A guns, but you'd be insane. You definitely want more fire. In terms of A defense, as I said, 83, pretty darn good. So let's go into commander builds there. Let's take a look. Sorry. We're running Mr. Cunningham with Fun Buccaneer. Drill bits option there. You could run crisscross. I do like Cannoneer because the additional heals does not basically means your fire is not a big problem to you. Marksmanship, definitely want a better accuracy. Reaching out, you will be playing this at range at the start. You will need that extra range. Walter build because simply it's just a better option. Von Essen for better pen angles. It does help. And Jujard for better pen. I have been mixing a bit in builds and I have been trying different things. You could run auto as well rather than Von Essen. I'm using Jujard because I'm using this on a different ship. I think I'm using it on the hood, so I think it'd give more pen, but it does actually work out nicely. So I'm going to say this is a working formula, but it's feel free to open. Oh, it's open to interpretation, really. So yeah, take a look at it. HE is very good, 42% fire chance, about 6k alpha, and it's got that British penetration on the HE. It has increased penetration, so you will pretty much pen everything you want. The AP is very good. You just need to use it at certain ranges and certain things you have to follow when it comes to British battleships, and I'll go over that when we discuss in the game. In terms of armor, you're coated in 32 pretty much, as you can see, so you're absolutely easily penned by HE. It's not a problem. You're going to be farmed when you want. You get super heal, and that's it. They've improved the citadel on this thing, as you can see. The torpedo belt is kind of the thing that holds the citadel, makes it more tanky. But as you can see, citadel is large. It is underwater a little bit, but only just. Some of it does ride above the water, and you can take a look at the torpedo protection. I don't know what they've done. This is the buff. Maybe they make it harder to citadel. They've added that torpedo protection in to make it harder to citadel. That's why we're getting pens, not citadel. This weird, borderline stupid torpedo belt they've got on it. So yeah, I just don't see why this boat needed a buff. When it was first introduced, it was really quite strong, I thought, but they've been buffing it and debuffing it, I swear to God, because they mess with the accuracy. It used to be really accurate, now it's not accurate, and then they tried again. I don't know what they're doing with this boat. It really is confusing. What it does have, the Vanguard, is it has a super heal. I know I went over it briefly, but it's really a really exceptional heal. And we're going to head into battle, and I'll talk more about it in a bit. So yeah, the Vanguard has an exceptional heal. It's the best heal in the game, I believe. Beats even the Nelson, I'm not sure. But yeah, it's really good. So it heals any HE damage, and it heals additional damage. Citadel damage, it will not heal that much, but nothing really heals much Citadel damage. It will still heal a lot of it though. But yeah, you don't want to be taking Citadels, you don't be healing that back. But HE, you can farm for days if you've got 3 heals. If you're running Azurely Nelson as well, you could also run. You get even more heals out of it. But you'd be focusing more on HE focus. Now, Vanguard of HE is viable. With British battleships, you really need to switch your armor types. You need to switch your shell types depending on the situation. Because if you don't, you're really going to suffer. Because British battleships, the AP excels at range, because you have the plunging fire to go into the deck, and it excels at close range because you have the necessary pen. On medium range, you need to aim upper belt or on the deck. You cannot be aiming for the lower hull of battleships because you'll not get citadels. British armor piercing has too short a fuse to arm and citadel targets, unless maybe Russian was going to expose citadel. But you don't want to be going for the lower hull on medium ranges. What's medium ranges, you might want to say? So anything below like 10 kilometers plus, I would say, is medium range. And then once you're passing like 16, I would say it's long range. So you want to be using your AP on flat broadside targets, particularly broadside cruisers. This is really well broadside cruisers, and you want to be using that rule. So if you're close to the boats, you know, you use the AP and you use the broadside, go for lower hull. If you're far away, you go for lower hull. If you're medium range, you go for upper hull. Sorry, I kind of skipped over a couple of things. The HE on Vanguard, pretty darn good. As you can saw, we gave that Akatsuki a really bad day, and we did use the reload booster on that. Though again, it's really not that effective. Like, I used it at the right time, it just didn't really do anything. It's nothing like a Jean Bart reload booster where it's exceptionally effective. So yeah, we're kiting away, because this is perfectly what the Vanguard can do. We've got a Richelieu who's by tanking HE. Why not? You definitely worth switching. It's not a bad idea to do that. And you can see, you start fires, you do well, and you pen. The only thing you bounce off is a Jean Bart Richelieu turret, because, you know, it's already powerful enough. Doesn't need to get over. Akatsuki torps, because we shot them, that's kind of predictable. We're going to kite away. This is exactly what you want to do. You want to kite away. You don't want to push late game. You want to use that healing. You want to use that stuff you can. If you can tank for the team a little bit, that's great. But you need to find a way to disengage. Because if you can't disengage, you're not going to be worth it. If you're kiting away, you can fire most of your guns while remaining relatively angled. If something shoots you, you just tighten up that angle using steering gear mod. Switch to AP, see if we can finish off that York, but honestly I don't think we get the shot. I think he's going to die before we get anything near close to it. The reload isn't just not good enough to use that reload booster. I just don't see. It's what's good. It's just I just don't see the point of the reload booster. It's just you don't have enough firepower at the front to do it with it. So we've got the AP loaded. We're going to go upper deck on that Bismarck. As you said, this is not super long range. This is medium range. So you aim higher up. And we got alright. See, 2 penetrations and 1 over pen. Sure, we didn't get great damage, but we penned everything we wanted to pen. That's really what's important. Now, we came a bit of a gamble here. We kind of get broadside here. It's not to fire guns here, it's to get the full complete turn. That's why we go dark and we don't shoot. We do shoot now, I think. Or do we wait for the right moment? There we go. And we're not oh no, we get spotted by plane. I was like, well, I was hoping we weren't being spotted. So Bismarck could actually slap us right now, but we are a bit lucky here. We are turning as much as we can to try and push in, because this is the point where you can push in. Identifying when you can push in is very careful, but you just really want to make sure that the speed of threats are gone. And yeah, anything that can really rip you a new one is effectively taken out. Again, angled Bismarck, shoot the HE, it's not a problem. You don't have to fire AP all the time, you don't have to fire HE all the time. Switching ammo types is really what you should do in a British battleship. HE is very good, AP is very good when used on the right targets, so you really should be switching. I know I stress this a lot, but it's definitely worth mentioning. So yeah, we're going to keep firing just the front guns of the Bismarck, because as you said, we can't really get broadside to him. He is shooting at us. We do have a 32mm bow, and the whole boat's 32, so it shouldn't take much damage at all from his salvos. I'm going to really hope for a little bit of support. By the way, if you haven't noticed, there's a lot of people in this game that are quite famous. We've got Mr. Juice over here in the carrier in Lexington, who gives me a fair amount of support, which is always good. He did spot that Akatsuki, yeah. There we go. I'm really trying to finish him off. Unfortunately, I don't understand it, why these turrets are so fragile, because there's only 4 of them, and they only hold 2 guns each. It's just you really need that firepower, and having your guns broken is not fun at all. It's just a really stupid mechanic. You know, they really need to be aiming for them when that to happen. Anyway, we have the gun taken out, so we can't shoot that Akatsuki. Or Katsuki. He is doing some weird play right now. I think he make a major misplay. I am pushing him right now, and I am effectively by tanking any torpedoes that will come his way, my way. I haven't used my heal yet, which is very nice on my part. I'd rather use it early on. I'd rather get all uses at my heals, but this will do. He's gonna run right past me there, so hopefully we can get a hit on him. Nope. dispersion just says, what happened to you? I don't understand. The dispersion used to be really good in these boats, but it seems to be getting worse in the Vanguard. Ever since they did one of the buffs, I have no idea. But anyway, we do get the kill on Akatsuki. So I'll never get used to saying Akatsuki. It's Akatsuki for me, it always has been. Anyway, you need to be very careful about that Massa. He is Heck over there. And regardless if he's Heck or not, he's got 16-inch guns, and he's potentially got my broadside, so that could be a really bad thing. He's also American battleships, which are ridiculously easy to play, and American armor-piercing penetration angles are no joke, so we need to turn off. We need to give this guy, the 406s, a little bit of respect, and we need to turn away and handle it. We are going to keep shooting HE, he is bow tanking us. Nothing wrong with shooting HE in any battleship, but you just got to be using it at the right times. If you're missing out and if you're shooting HE when you should be shooting AP, and vice versa as well, particularly on the Vanguard's case, because you can't use AP in every situation. You got to switch. Originally would be a prime target for AP, but we have a Scharnhorst here, and the Scharnhorst is getting pretty darn close. We could stop here, and I kind of feel like we should have, but we can't be giving a little bit broadside. We'd have to slow down. In reverse very quickly. We kind of need to keep the pressure on the Scharnhorst so he doesn't kill our DD. At least that's, I think. Again, this is a little bit up for debate, but that's something I would recommend we do here. As you see, I've not always been using my 4 guns. It's whether I can, and it's more of a situation of whether I can. Relatively angled to the Scharnhorst. I am not giving as much angle as I should, probably, but I do understand the Scharnhorst doesn't really have my big caliber guns. Again, he does take out my front turret though, and my back. And my back turret's just a little bit upsetting. And again, that rudder shift coming in right handy does a nasty number to my bow, which is upsetting. But we're trying to get rid of him with the AP. Guns, turrets are not turning because they're all being taken out periodically. The other turret would have been fine, but the one that I need to kill him with was the one that was taken out, so the turret is bad. Scharnhorst does go down though, which is always good. And we're going to turn our attention towards the Ritchulu. Now we're trying to think what we could do here. I'd like to reverse and push into this and just blab the Ritchulu, but realistically I think it's better to push forward. So this is what is going through my mind. It goes, you definitely want to be careful, because if I reverse out here and get broadside to this Ritchulu, I could be taken out of the fight. That's how disgusting this boat is when you catch it broadside. You just don't want to be caught broadside this boat. But you really want to use all its guns, so it's a very tossed mix up between the both. You got to be careful what you do. So enemy leg sticking does take out at Massachusetts. It's completely fine the way it is. By the way, this is after the buff, so leg sticking is absolutely a powerhouse right now. So yeah, pretty darn rough. We're just trying to decide what to do at this point, because we're unsure. Hopefully the carrier can push in a little bit and help us out on the B flank, maybe get some caps in the goal. We do need some caps. We did lose that DD. I don't know how we lost that DD. I really should have been paying attention, I guess. We've got a Wichita who can easily bounce our salvos. It's honestly, I've just given up shooting Wichita at this point. They're just that broken. It's that disgusting. We meet shells meet with the islands, and that's a little bit unfortunate. Probably could have waited a little bit. As you can see, Vladivostok was angled, but we aimed higher up, and we got some good hits on him regardless. Now, he's not that well angled. And the Wichita's not well angled as either, but again, it's the Wichita. The temptation to shoot a Wichita is so small. I'm just not going to bother. I'm just going to go for the Vladivostok, who is a nicer target for me. There we go. Again, AP on the Vanguard is good. You just need to give it the right circumstances to perform. Virtually does take out our something else. What was it? Gneisenau. There we go. Gneisenau does take out the Massa. Ritchulu should have no problem being dealt with by our carrier. It's just down to me and the carrier, unfortunately. And this is the sort of moment I realise the damage I've done. I've done 111,000. Again, our gun turrets just love being taken out in this match. It's been really unfortunate. Vladivostok, he is angled, so we aim higher up and we get at least a little bit of damage done to him. At this point, this could be a really good shot. Unfortunately, I think I do mess up. I think it's just the panic in the battle. I think this was a very tense battle if I could try and win this one. But yeah, I want to use the front turrets on the Vladivostok and the back turrets on the Wichita. So front turrets on Vladivostok, that works fine. 2 citadels and 1 overpen. I'm not complaining. I only fired 4 guns. And why did I do that? And this is where we get to see the Wichita AP, by the way, which is no joke. People underestimate, oh, it doesn't have Baltimore AP. The AP is just fine. This is why this boat is broken. It can do absolutely everything a cruiser can do. It really has no weakness at all. He even breaks my front gun turret with his astoundingly really good AP. And I'm down to 1 gun turret, and I've returned these in a black week for 16k. I have not even a problem about it. And then the next team comes in just to add in the fun. I've shot down 16 planes, but that does not mean anything. 17 planes, something like that, something dumb. Anyway, I'm going to go down there. I potatoed my shot on the Wichita. I think it's just pure accuracy on the Vanguard's part. But yeah, unfortunate result, but overall, pretty good game. 165k, 2000 base XP on a loss. Envy Wichita with 3000 base. I would normally congratulate, but it is a Wichita. I'm sorry. I'm surprised everyone does get 3000 base or 4000 in a Wichita. It's absolutely disgusting. But before I get too much on the Wichita, let's talk more about the Vanguard really quick. So overall, as you can see, battleship AP for the British, long range, lower hull, short range, lower hull, medium range, upper deck. Medium range is like 10 kilometers to like 15, 16, and long range is 16 plus. So that's a good indication for you where to aim on battleships. Cruisers, you want to go for the cruisers all times. Citadels with quick fuse AP will really do wonders for you. And don't be afraid to switch shell types. It's really useful, and obviously only fire all your guns when it's completely safe to do so, because turning in this boat is not great. This is the only buff the Vanguard needs to remain a viable and strong ship. Even now, it's still a strong ship, but this is the problem. People don't know how to play it. Simple as that. So hope this helps you guys out, and as always, I'll catch you next time. Bye for now.